Dead Workers Party on Smite, episode 39, recorded on February 21st, 2014.
I'm Brent MF and Copeland.
I'm Eric EMF and Fullerton.
Yeah.
I'm just Afro Monkey.
Oh, okay.
I'm Kevin MF and Nivek.
Yeah, we got an awesome freaking show on Smite, the game about gods.
The God
Killing
game.
each other.
That's right.
War.
Me killing
It's the war of gods in different pantheons. They didn't even know each other existed, and now they're PO'd.
But not the
remember
Catholic.
the Swagni.
Not the Catholic gods, though.
No, we'll talk about that later.
no,
We got
don't.
some.
Eric,
Don't get ahead of us.
Talk
now.
about Jesus a little
Don't-
later in the game.
don't
For later in the
get-
show.
We got
Don't
multiple Jesus talk later.
We do?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Save the gold
Interesting
for the
stuff.
show that's on right now.
I like
That's
Jesus.
what
That's
we
cool.
like to call in the business, Kevin, as a teaser.
Hey.
Teaser. Oh,
Teaser.
That's right.
Yeah.
it's
So we're going to
teasing
get
me.
to
Stop it.
what we've been doing. We're going to tell you about the tournament and what it's up to. We're also going to be talking about some questions that Kelly Link herself answered for us, and
Clink.
we definitely
Hi,
appreciate
Res
that.
Kelly.
Yes.
Hi, Res Kelly.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
And then we'll talk about some issues we have, because we always have issues, because we're angry people.
All the time.
Can we-
Yes.
As long as we're not going to talk about Escort Arena anymore, I'm fine.
Those are some of the best talks, though.
Well, no.
Well, before we talk about this, let's talk about 4 things. Eric, how was your week?
Quadra kill.
Quadra kill.
What?
Okay, so this week I've been getting okay, so Anubis legendary.
Uh-oh.
Aw, yeah,
Sorry,
boy.
I did that all wrong. Legendary. So legendary Anubis.
Anubis?
Pretty much.
Anubis?
Anubis.
And guess what?
Thanks, Ben.
Almost legendary Neethy Poo. Almost legendary Neethy Poo.
I don't know if almost counts as a need for the
Well, she's like
reverb.
she's like level 9.5. So
We'll probably get it after the show.
by next episode she'll
Probably.
be 10, and then I'll probably be working on like Cupid or something. I don't know.
You're going to be working out Cupid? What?
Maybe.
wow.
Dude,
We'll
that's
see.
dirty.
We'll see.
Yeah, we don't need
Dirty.
to do that.
Had
A
some
little
great
Cupid
games this week.
Vimana action going on.
I
there,
did
sandwich?
no conquest this week though. Kind of I don't know. I'm kind
We
of
need to
sad
do a
about
Conquest. After the show, Conquest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Okay,
it.
Love
sounds
to.
good.
that. Lots of
but wait, but
gameplay,
we're
lots
in
of
the
stuff.
studio.
But that was really the thing. Like today, I got a quadra kill with Neath.
A
That's
what?
kinda cool. A quadra. Oh, a quadra kill.
That,
that'll
Kevin,
sound
in the business is what we like to call a setup.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
I like
Speaking
it.
of setups, now see, Brent,
Stop.
that in the business is what we like to call a segue.
Segue.
Stop
Speaking of
encouraging him.
setups,
Your face is a set.
I don't mean to interrupt Eric. Eric, what else do you want to talk about?
That's really it. I mean, I played a bunch, but I'm here for conversation. So, what'd you do, Brent?
You know, I played the game. Anything exciting happened this week in the game? I did get use out of the Gauntlet of Thebes before they pulled it from the game because it was
so
an
awesome.
super OP action. I had like over 5,000 hit points, and
Wait,
things like
what?
that.
Had
Explain
plus 600.
Explain what happened, Sir Brenty.
So the Gauntlet of Thebes, it gave you 600 hit points, and it was super cheap too. So you could buy it like your first item,
Yeah.
and then it gave you 15% of all your hit points on top of that, even whatever stacks. So, like, in a great Emir build was to get that, and then get the staff that also gives you 600 points, but
The
then it
ethereal
gives you,
stuff, yeah.
I think that's what it costs. And man, you could just run through anything and laugh at people. I think I got like 9 kills with Emir in one of the games, which I
It was
know for you
ugly.
pros, that's not a big deal, but I thought it was a good game. But then they pulled it in the mini patch. We'll talk about the patches later. But I had a lot of fun with that. We played the new stuff to see how the patch went, and luckily they heard our pleas before we even pleaded. Reddited it. I guess they heard that, and they fixed a lot of bugs that we hated. And
Yeah,
we'll talk about that
it
later.
annoyed us. Yes.
So I think that's about it. I might come up with something later. I don't know. How about you, Afro Monkey?
Okay.
He's in the same room. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I don't even know if, because I didn't play today, I don't know if the thing that was bugging me...
The favorites, they fixed it.
No. The double click in the shop.
Yes, fixed it.
Okay, awesome.
Good. Yeah. Oh, man, that was bugging me so much.
Yeah, that
Did they really, though? I thought I was double-clicking today and it didn't work. Oh.
I swear they fixed it. I was clicking stuff and it seemed to be working. Or either I got into the habit of clicking the item, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll check after the show.
But there was another thing, and they might have fixed this as well, but there, in some instances, I would try to buy an item, but when I pulled it up, it would not show that I could buy it, even though I had enough gold to actually buy that item. But I think that was just a straight-up bug.
I think that,
I saw that
there was
too.
something
Yeah.
in that the patch notes about that I think they fixed.
Yeah.
But also, after I basically had never played Agni before, and after the patch, and we played the all Agni match, even though we got slaughtered because of the I forgot the name of it already. We just talked.
Oh yeah, Gauntlet of Thieves.
Yeah, because
and
of
the
Gauntlet's-
ethereal staff combo.
They wiped us out because they had two people on their team that had that combo that were absorbing all the damage, and everybody else was just nailed. Well, they were killing us too.
Yeah.
But I like Agni a lot more than I thought I would. I really didn't play him because I'm just like his.
You
play
didn't like
style.
that slow motion run?
Well,
before?
it's not even just the graphical aspects. It's just his gameplay. You know, the launching, but the delay and all of his skills was just, it bothered me.
Oh, okay.
But after playing that match, even though we lost, I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm going to experiment and play some more with Agni and see what I can do with him.
Nice.
He is really fun to play.
Yeah.
He's one of my go-to mids when I'm forced into mid and Conquest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
do
good
well
stuff.
with him, but I like to play him. So
Ao Kuang's my go-to always if I'm midden.
But
But
Always.
what do you think about the reskin, though?
I like the reskin.
You like it? You don't like the slow motion, the weird red?
I am kind of sad that they didn't keep the slow motion running, even though, as you said in our TeamSpeak chat, as we were playing, you kind of, when he had the slow motion run, you thought he was going slower than he actually.
It felt like it, exactly.
But
yeah.
the cool thing about the slow running is it made him into a psycho killer, right? Like the guy who's always just walking, but keeping up with you, even though you're at like a straight run. You're like,
Yeah.
oh God, it's Agni!
I know.
And he's not
I'm
even
coming
breaking a
for
freaking
you.
sweat back here,
I
man.
know.
What's
I felt
up
like
with
he was
this?
like on the moon, like less like gravity didn't affect Agni for some reason.
but you know the volcanic skin still has the astronaut walk. So
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
want that
does
walk
it?
back, just got to get the volcanic skin.
Yeah,
Sweet.
specific skins still have the walk, but it kind of makes
The
them
moon
feel.
walk.
yeah.
Anyway, but you know, the new skin with the just the standard walk kind of makes him feel more ordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got like clothes on, like a dress or something. I don't know what it is. It's like some fabric or something. I mean, he
looks
kind of
cool.
looks ordinary. I mean, he does look cool. He fits in with the style a lot better. But
Yeah.
I think like, the god of fire should be like the Human Torch. He should be on fire. He should be a man who is made of flame. I mean, that's my thoughts.
And I agree with you to some point, but like if they're going by whatever the lore is, they kind of have
right.
some things they got to
Yeah.
follow. And I don't know the lore, so maybe
I
he
don't
is
know. Yeah, I
like
don't
this
either.
fiery dude,
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, like he does do the fire when he walks, right? It
Hit
goes
fire
on
if
the
he
He still
ground.
does that, yeah.
And he walks with his hands behind his back,
Yeah.
and they're on fire, like he's holding fireballs or something.
he's ready to shoot.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah,
I
they
think
could
that's
add
cool,
more
too.
fire. You're right. They could add more fire all over his body or something.
Yeah, like
At
like
least
Ghost Rider
the
or
parts of his body that are exposed should be more emblazoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emblazoned. That's a good word,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Kinda,
Like, what if he had like fiery genitals?
Okay, so how was your week, Kevin?
So I've been playing a lot of Neja in Arena, just trying to level them up. And actually, before I go on and talk about Neja, I played a Chronos in Arena a while back, and I haven't played Chronos in a really long time. Like, I actually looked at my stats. I'll review it really quick, just because I have the game pulled up. So I played him on the 19th, so today's the 21st, right? So I played him 2 days ago. the last time I played him
That's a
before that
long time ago.
well,
No, I'm
do
just
you want to let
kidding.
me finish?
Yes. Yes,
All right,
I do.
So
Go on.
The last time I played him before the 19th was on the 27th of January.
Ooh.
So I hadn't played him for like 3.5 weeks, basically, and he's my favorite god. So I was like, all right, you know what? I gotta play some Chronos. So I played him because we needed a mage, and I didn't do the normal thing, but he definitely feels more balanced. I went 13-7, which I'm not unhappy with. As still solid kill to death ratio. Our team ended up losing, but I was pretty happy with how I did. So that was good, and I'm definitely need to play more Chronos so I can get him legendary and catch up with friggin' Eric, who's got like 16 legendaries already.
He's crazy.
And then
insane.
and then playing Neja, I don't know if anyone noticed this besides me, because I always look for my favorite gods when they do balance changes, but they buffed Neja a little bit. They made his sash, they made it wider so it's easier to hit people.
Oh.
And
and
I
a
definitely
little bit
noticed
longer, or is it just wider?
that. It's just wider.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's already very long. It's I mean, I don't know this actually, but it's one of the longest line abilities in the game, I'm sure. Besides, I mean, obviously Ra's ult is pretty long, but it's definitely longer than any of the normal line abilities.
Or Mercury's?
Yeah,
Mercury's
and-
is probably
Yeah.
longer.
but
So does
Yeah.
length matter? I mean,
No,
like-
it's how you use it.
Because
It's definitely how you
Okay.
catching up
use
to
it.
people, right?
and I did find
Great, Eric made an innuendo. Great, so I'm trying to be serious here.
when well,
Serious.
and I was
Sucker!
about to say something serious, but you know,
Okay, we'll get serious. Say something. Okay, go on.
well, when I would get Neja on the assault, I would always miss with the ribbon simply because, well, I don't play Neja a lot, but also it did seem like it was a little bit too thin, especially when you're up in the fray and you're trying to quit looking at me like that, you bastard. When you're up in the thick of it and you're trying to land it while being hit by other people, it was just difficult. So I kind of like that, but
Yeah,
No,
I put
but-
Neja in the same group with her with me. Like all the shots that I just for some reason I don't have that aim on those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I need
And-
like Akwong or Anubis where I can just put a big circle and
there are other gods
Yeah.
that I've played where, like, you know, their abilities, like the line to hit is no more narrow on Neja than it is these other gods. But somehow I can hit it with these other gods, but I can't hit it with Neja, and I don't understand it.
I definitely noticed that it took getting used to for me with Neja, but I've definitely you like learn the skill shots, right? I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like it's kind of like Brent's saying, like all of the line attacks are more or less the same. Of course, the casting times are different, but the width is the same. But I totally understand what you mean. Like when you're playing that god, you have to like learn every skill shot, even though they're all more or less the same.
Yeah.
I mean, but of course, like I said, the timing being different, I think, is very important. And also for like Anubis, you know, his stun, he can cast it while moving, but like Neja and Arachne can't cast their stuns while moving. Like they stop and then they cast it.
Yeah.
But Anubis can just be running along and throw it out at somebody.
Yeah.
So I think that makes it easier. But I really like that it's wider. One of the things I love about Neja is his ability to save his teammates. When they're being chased by people, because of how long his stun is or his thing is, then he can pull himself towards people. In arenas especially, someone will be chasing one of my teammates back to the base and I can just jump, I can just stun them, pull myself towards them, and then beat them on their face. And I don't necessarily kill them, but it always buys my teammate at least 2 or 3 seconds of free
To get
time to get away from that guy before he can attack them again.
And
Yeah.
in some cases, if you can't get the kill, you at least scare them enough that where they'll back off entirely from the engagement.
At least damage them enough that they start to retreat.
Yeah.
give the
And then you
ring
did
back,
your job, you just saved your teammate. So
cancel the wedding photographer.
That's right.
now
Just
one thing I
cancel
think
the
is,
whole engagement. Damn it.
I think it's kind of weird that Neja got a buff. It makes sense, but I think it's in the Smite Reddit. Apparently, Neja, I think I said this last week. Apparently, he's really an underpowered assassin, which I don't understand because I mean, maybe I'm just used to him now. Maybe it's just people are bad at landing skill shots. I don't know. People think he's underpowered because he has so many skill shots.
No,
maybe.
I think it's just you're incredible, man.
I'm trying. It sounds like I'm bragging. I just don't.
No,
like, personally
no,
used to
no.
it, right? So maybe other people just aren't used to them. I don't understand.
I think other people just don't know how to play them. I think you probably should write a guide.
I'm basically I should be on cognitive gaming as Najah.
Yeah,
so.
you probably should.
Yeah.
Or
Much.
if you had been on, Give Me a Sandwich or whatever their name was, they probably would still be up in the finals, right?
But I'm all bragging. I did want to ask though, because I know we kind of wanted to give discussion topics maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
On the Smite Reddit, they were talking about this, like the snowball effect in Smite, and how if somebody does, this is mostly Conquest, but it can be in Assault too, not really Arena, but mostly like Assault and Conquest. If one guy does really well in early game, they can just demolish the enemy team. Basically, if they get fed early, they just roll over everyone else then.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that's good? Do you think that's a good mechanic, or do you think it should be different somehow?
Well,
Do you think it's fair that the guy can steamroll if he gets fed? Like, he did do the work to get fed, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But do you think it should be more balanced?
the first thing I'll say is that I think that can happen in any game mode, regardless. It's just the effects are slightly different depending on what the game mode actually is.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that.
And the thing is that you can't really
You're
say
supposed to
it's-
argue, dude. When he says something, like, how should
I
argue
hate you,
with
you're
him?
wrong.
There you go.
I like it.
But what I was going to say is that you can't really say it's not fair because, like you said, he did the work. He killed those people. He got fed. It's not his fault that he's so much better than the opposing team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of the mechanic of Conquest. Like, and this is what people, I think, who are kind of new to Smite and MOBAs in general don't get. That everybody talks about it's not kill stealing, it's kill securing. And in Conquest, that's not true. It's not true. You if you're support, you shouldn't be getting kills. You need to be
do not
feeding the
last
kills
shot people.
to your carry.
Yeah.
And that's
Unless
the whole
it's
point. Is
literally a secure, like they were going to get away.
right. You want to get it.
I
mean, if it's getting away, but
yeah, if it's one of the things where your carry is not going to get that kill, then yes, get that kill.
Yeah.
But if you can make it so that your carry is going to get that kill, you don't last hit them and get the kill for yourself because that's not helping your team.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just one team did its job better than the other team, and that's usually what wins anyway.
Yeah.
So they take these kind of stances every once in a while, like you're saying, kind of that. Well, maybe we should make it more fair and not make that as powerful. And you know what? If they probably did that well, they're probably going to continue to do that well.
Yeah.
And you could get lucky and eke out like a team fight that you can come back and win. But that's another hour later of having to like level up, and it's like an hour I don't want to take. Just go ahead and get the win, and let's move on.
And also, like, my thing is, like, in the past when I talked about snowballing, I talked more that game mechanics went towards snowballing and not the actual individual player performance. Like with the Manicore and in Arena.
There it goes, Kevin. Even asked you not to mention it.
But it was one of the things that when it came out, I said this has the potential to snowball a match.
Right.
And it's more of a game mechanic that they're getting more kills, but you're piling something up on top of that. But a player.
So when it is player, so if it is literally a player skill or the other team's not skill, you think it's fair then? It's all right.
Well, but I mean, you can't eliminate like Brent
Like
was saying,
basically what you're
can't-
saying is if the carry got 10 kills and he all suddenly got above and beyond the gold and stuff he earned from those kills, they're like, hey, we're going to give you a bonus 500 gold because you got 10 kills first.
Yeah.
That would be fair. That would be a steamrolling mechanic that was above and beyond player.
But if they're just good and they get those 10 kills and continue getting kills, then there's anything that you do is just penalizing them for being good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they should get anything more from that other than what the mechanics of the game allow with gold and experience and so on and so forth. Yeah. But you can't penalize people for being good.
Well, and the other thing is, it may not be just that he's good. It could be his whole team knows, hey, we need to feed this person.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, come mid. I've got someone low. Get a kill.
Yeah.
Hey, your support's freezing people so you can get a kill. It's the whole teamwork aspect. And so if you kind of just say, let's all to me, if you did anything, it's just going to make the game take longer. Every once in a while, the other team would end up winning, but I think probably 80% of the time or more,
the outcome would be the same, but it's just going to take a lot longer to get there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about Smite is the matches are shorter than Law.
Yeah,
like I hear people talking about, we get long matches and they're 45 minutes, right?
At
Law,
most,
they're
like
over an hour.
Yeah,
so it's like,
Well, I actually agree with you guys. I think it's fair when someone does well, and they push or they get fed by their team properly. Like,
would you say it's when they take it to the limit?
Oh my God!
Is that a segue?
No, it's not.
Okay, sorry, I'm wary of segues now. I'm wary of setups and everything.
Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to just rush all over you. Wait, that's weird.
I wonder if there's a way to if a team coordinates well to catch up. Maybe they just they should just try to feed one of their teammates then, right?
Yeah,
right.
Be like, well, their Zeus is fed. Let's really try to focus and feed our and her.
And
that's
and there's nothing to say that both teams doesn't have someone that's super fed.
Yeah,
and that's the goal, right?
It's one of those things where the only thing that really can combat a team that has someone who is super fed is the opposing team basically coordinating and doing pretty much the same thing.
And I think it comes down to taking some Hail Marys at that point. Sneaking a fire giant.
Yeah,
things like that is what you're going to need.
Like if you're gonna lose anyway, or possibly gonna lose anyway, there's no reason not to take some chances, because at this point, what else are you gonna do? Are you just gonna defend the Titan until basically it's the last moment and you're gonna lose anyway?
Always.
You get decided and then it's all over.
Yeah.
Well, good talk.
Yeah.
So there is a game breaking bug. I don't know if we should even talk about it. Okami Luna, one of our friends that we play Smite with, just gave us the lowdown in the chat room.
So this is something they haven't fixed?
This may be something that is not fixed right now. It is super game breaking. It is super trolly, and maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
I don't think we should tell the specifics of it, because that just aggravates the problem, and they're obviously working on it.
Yeah.
But basically, just be aware that there is an issue where people can cause you to crash.
In God selection mode.
And we can't tell you
in
how.
God selection mode. No, I don't know if you can get back in and play at all if you get back in time.
Yeah.
Or if
we'll tell you about this when we know it's fixed.
Yeah. That'd be a better time.
Yeah. Because if we were just telling people now, it's just like, hey, go try it out. We'll do it after the show.
Just go under the map in Conquest and set up a sentry gun.
That's exactly. Yeah. I can't believe you told everybody. Jeez.
No, sorry. Big thank you to Sweet Ghost Girl, who donated again to the Smite trip. What up, girl?
Yeah.
You rock.
Oh my God.
Rock.
So we definitely appreciate that. If you want to, we're going regardless, but this kind of eases the money that's coming out of everybody's pocket to go. We guesstimate for all 6 of us, it's going to be around $1,000, a little bit more for Nivik because he's flying.
And Sweet Ghost Girl is always in the chat room watching. You'll see her live here, but she's actually here in the studio,
live in person.
Yes.
And so we're up to $75 out of 1,000, so not quite the goal.
Yeah,
but getting there.
But slowly getting there, and we appreciate every single dollar. So thank you all who's donated. Just Will. Maybe we mentioned him last week because I was on February 7th. But anyway, if you want to donate, you can go to smite.deadworkers.com and help out. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
And now, I think we have some patch notes to talk about.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We got the new Agni rework, which was basically just a model, animation, 2D art, and FXs have all been updated. We've all played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
cool
I said
stuff.
earlier that I like it. I do miss the slow run, but otherwise I like it. It's a good
I just
graphical
love these,
refresh.
I love the how different the god looks. Of course the model looks different, but difference in terms of the resolution of the textures and stuff.
Yeah.
And the model detail. I love that when they do these reworks.
It has like a flowing fabric behind them. And
The
stuff.
only thing that gets me about the reworks is there are gods that have literally gotten no love since they were introduced.
Friggin' Bastet needs it.
Yes, and I'm just wondering what like. Is it just that a particular artist was working on that rework and they got it done before some of this other stuff is done?
Yeah.
Or this is possibly a question for Kelly.
Yeah.
Is basically what?
How did they decide?
How did they
makes
decide?
sense?
And are all gods going to get either, just custom skins or a rework to make it look more in line with the new skins that are being put out now?
Right.
Because they're like Bastet. Like you were saying, there are other gods that definitely need some TLC.
Ymir.
Yeah.
Ymir needs something, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's got
They made
so
him
many
short and
skins.
squatty like a little tiny goblin. He used to be huge and awesome, like as tall as Hades.
Did he really change sizes?
Yeah, he did.
I
He's,
don't know.
he's
We've
short
talked
and
about it on the
squatty.
show before.
Well, I hear it, but I still don't recognize it. I haven't noticed that. But maybe that's because I have the Twitch
Take
skin.
Hades
I
and
don't know.
Ymir
Yeah.
and stand them next to each other. Ymir is like this little goblin, like, hey,
Yeah, I
No.
feel like a short, stout, like,
Yeah.
I'm a rock. You're not getting past me.
and he used
But-
to be
That's what I
big.
feel.
They scaled him down, and this is many patches ago.
Well, but what I'm getting at is like there are gods that they were introduced, they never got any extra skins other than
Gold.
some of them got their normal skin and that's it. I think most of them have at least their gold by now.
Yeah.
But they're even if they have their gold, that's basically just a recolor of their normal skin. There are some gods that just need some TLC.
I
Yeah.
think they're using the alphabet.
What?
Got Agni got a rework, right? So and then Anubis got his skin reworked.
Oh, yeah.
The Blood Eagle Thor. I don't know. That's kind
you
of
just
stretch.
Yeah,
I think you're
The
stretching
stretch
right there.
But I do. It is confusing to me that like Anubis just got the mecha, skin, and then they go and
Now he gets the worms
give the
update.
Gravehound Anubis an update.
Well,
when-
they already had it. They just updated the effects.
right. They put all the maggots on it basically.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
maggots.
pretty much.
And I mean, I like the Gravehound Anubis. That was like my second go. That was the one I went to before the mecha update.
Right. Yeah, me too. But I love all the new effects on the maggots.
So it's like you said, maybe it's just something they had and kind of going, and it was
And
almost completed.
I can definitely see that they they have probably several artists working on different projects, and they're all working on pretty much their own schedule.
Yeah.
And it's just whoever finishes first, and they can actually get it integrated into the game.
Right.
But it just seems like you would think that at this point their focus would not be giving Anubis another reskin, that they would be focusing on these gods that haven't had an update since they were introduced.
ages.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know some of the pantheons are different sizes. Some have like a few gods, and some have a ton of gods.
Yeah.
But I think it would almost be kind of cool as if they had one artist per pantheon, and they had kind of this overall similar
Yeah,
look,
so that
right?
all the Egyptians kind of look similar, all the Greek gods kind of look not exactly the same, but have the same theme going on with them.
Right. So they all kind of, they have this look already that they're kind of shooting for over all the gods. So
Yeah.
they have that as an overall, but then they have this underarching for each one. They kind of have a general artist feel. But also, that means maybe each update they would have a new skin for each pantheon.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of a cool thing, right? You get one for each pantheon. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's releasing them too fast.
Well,
people wouldn't
and
buy 'em
also,
as
I mean,
much, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Artwork is just kind of different. There's when you're programming something, it's kind of procedural. There's a little bit of or there's a lot of creativity in programming, but it's easier to quantify programming than it is art. Like it might take someone a year to make something that is extremely awesome, and it might take someone else a month to make something that's just as appealing as the thing that it took this other person a year. And how can you really say one is wrong and one is right?
Yeah.
Well, if you're not fast enough, it's wrong. Get out. We'll hire an artist that's faster.
But
So-
Sorry, if you're a slow artist, I didn't mean that. Yes, I did.
We do know that Hi-Rez has said definitely Bastet, and they've also, I've heard places they've said Zeus and Ao Kuang are going to get graphical updates.
That's cool.
And I figure, like, wouldn't they want to be pushing these out even more than New Gods?
Yeah.
Because the graphical updates make the game overall look more polished. And that's what they want for people to see when they release the game, right? They want it to look as polished as possible.
And also the simple fact that graphical updates, for the most part, don't involve any introducing new god mechanics, introducing new balancing, a lot of trouble to get the new gods integrated into the current god lineup. I would see where, at least from my point of view, it would be at least a little bit advantageous for them to focus on getting all the gods up to date and looking really good. But like I said, it could just be taking a long time to get a new design for each god that integrates into the game the way that they're doing the graphics right now.
Yeah, and it could just come down to money. I mean, they made, the new gods, that's money.
Yeah.
Right? That's people buying the new gods, people buying the skins, people buying
That's
the
a good
voice
point.
packs.
Yeah.
And the limited
If they just
time
redo
stuff.
it, people already have those.
And
Like,
really, since the game is free to play, you can't really blame them for that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and like when we're talking about all this, I mean, it's not like we're like stupid Hi-Rez. Why aren't they doing that? We're just more wondering.
Very
Yeah.
minute details here. But
And like I said, it's something that we can ask Kelly about to get some clarification.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We got some questions for Kelly.
Yes.
that's right.
We also.
And
Go on.
Our friend Raging Cajun in the chat room says, I do think 3 limited time skins at once was overkill with Poolseidon, Valentine Changa, and Winter Olympian. That's a really good fact, actually, that kind of negates the whole conversation. Those are skins that were available for a limited time, which doesn't help the game in the long run, which also puts a lot of time and effort for a short amount. That was a burst effect. Like, let's hurry up and get a bunch of interest and a bunch of money all in one little burst, and then how does that help the long run?
Hopefully the Valentine's Shunga will come back next Valentine's.
Next year.
And also with the Olympian, the Olympics only happen. Well, the Winter Olympics only happen, once every 4 years. So,
Right.
I mean, this is not something
Poolseidon,
that.
though? Like,
Well,
I don't
Maybe
know.
they'll bring it back during the summer.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
the
think
whole point of Poolseidon is to raise money for the 170K tournament now.
yeah.
Oh,
so
right.
Maybe they'll do it
I
for
think
each
they're-
tournament.
Well,
true.
and I think it's one of those things that it's just the perfect storm of of different events happened all within a certain time frame where, they're all happening at the same time, but it's kind of unavoidable. Valentine's Day is a set day.
Mm-hmm.
The Olympics is a set day, and they had already set the time for the tournament.
Right.
So either they would have pushed back the tournament in order to not have all these things, and really the skin, like the sale of the skin, probably like they really wanted to sell so they can make money and raise money for the tournament. But on the flip side, that's not their deciding factor for when they're going to hold their launch in their tournament.
Yeah.
Two things.
Okay.
One, this could have just been a test, right? How much will the market bear, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they won't know until they test it. So it could have just been straight up, can we put 3 limited time skins up for sale? Will it work?
Right.
B, like you said, we've got the Chang'e and the Olympics. They kind of had to been done if they were going to do them for those special occasions, regardless. So we're not get them out. The Poolseidon, if they weren't doing a test, that's the one I think they probably should have held off and should have used the Olympic skin for the pool. I mean, I know it's cute to say, hey, the Poolseidon, we're increasing the pool. But they could have used either of the other gods to have done the same thing and then saved Poolseidon for after launch, maybe even announced it at launch.
Yeah.
And maybe as a summer, hey, it's only up for 3 months this summer. Get it while it's hot.
And I'm hoping what happens is that there will be some other skins that are announced at the tournament from that list that we've all voted for.
Yeah.
That come out then.
Well, we do
Secret
have an
agents.
announcement. I don't know the 5 questions y'all picked, but I know one of them answered one of those questions in there.
And I'm not sure, so that's why I'm beating around the bush.
I hate you all. Should just give all the questions. Jerk
In the
faces.
patch this week, we got some new skin updates. We didn't actually get any new skins, but we got updates. So, Blood Eagle Thor had his FX updated. Gravehound Anubis, as we talked about, he had his FX updated too.
Maggots.
And then Agni's Incinerator, which is his
Blue.
his white and blue skin.
Yeah.
And then his golden and legendary skins have been updated for the new model.
His
And as we
X-Men.
said previously, his volcanic skin kept the same model and the animation, so it still has the moonwalk, but it has some FX updates. And then Poseidon had some FX updates to provide better team coloring information.
Cool.
Okay.
So I think
Nice.
that's pretty cool. Awesome. Eric, would you like to tell us about this updated voice and VGS system?
Yeah,
stuff?
a variety of improvements have been made to various voice taunts in the game, including a god-specific voice taunt, VAT1, VAT1. So you have attack left tower, which would be a
Phoenix.
does that change to
Yeah,
Phoenix?
if you
Yeah.
kill all
In
the
a mode?
towers, it will then say attack the Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's a smart VGS. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I hope they use that a lot more. So you have attack middle tower or Phoenix and attack right, and then you have a special an arena VDM will defend the portal, and also you have a attack the minions, and I really like that. But I was in arena and I typed VAM and it said attack the Minotaur, but that was before the bug fix patch, so maybe that was
during our Agni match, right, wasn't it?
I think so. That was
Yeah.
match of the day. Maybe it was
I
weird.
remember you mentioning.
Oh, maybe that's
that.
it. Maybe they didn't because it was considered. Yeah, it was match of the day.
Yeah, because
so
I was
that-
like, "Vam, vam, vam! Come on, attack the minions!"
Yeah.
But anyway,
Just
so
attack the Minotaur, attack the Titan. Yeah.
yeah, but that's a great one. So remember that VAM because people will freaking
Yeah,
forget and just
It-
walk
it-
right by, and you're like, and then you have to say attack or you have to ding the map and you click 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 ding 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 ding, you know, and it's like minions, hello people. So
it's-
VAM is awesome.
I still don't know if it's just they don't care or if they just don't understand how arena actually works.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I guess
So-
defend the portal would work better because technically you're saying minions are walking in, but I don't know. I guess they're both the same. So
I
just
think
up to
they
you
both
to-
kind of have the same effect, although
Attack the minions. Building stacks. Attack the minions. Well, you should be attacking the minions.
yeah,
Or-
you're
or-
building stacks.
Here's something. What if your team is on the left side and they're buffing and they're getting that third buff in arena? You know that one where if the other team decides not to buff first, they've cleared the wave and now the wave is
Yeah,
going towards the
that-
portal.
that's
You
when
could
attack
say
the minions.
VAM, like hello, they're mid lane, so you're not really defending the portal. It's like, you know, get your ass out of left lane, right?
I think basically defend the portal is when the minions are about to run in.
they're
whereas-
right in the edge.
Whereas attack the minions is
Or they're in the process of walking through, right?
Yeah.
So
Or if there's a siege.
yeah.
oh
they
yeah.
might defend. Now, let me ask you this: why don't we start with the haste buff when we're buffing?
I don't know.
And work
Everybody
backwards.
goes left, right? I mean, why don't we go right?
I guess it's
Why
just
don't you get
how-
this-
it's just
Well, no.
melee, right?
I don't
No,
think
no,
go
no. We were
right.
talking about-
I think
Just
go
go
left.
all the way forward to the haste buff and move your way back.
Or you
because
could do
you
that,
have
yeah.
a complete, you have more than enough time before it spawns to get there in position, kill the haste buff, kill the damage buff, kill the mana buff, and it takes the most time, but you're in a better position when you get the mana buff to get back around and take care of that minion wave.
yeah.
I
that
think we
makes-
just invented a new meta.
or just go right. I mean, either one.
Well, you're
I-
going to be
I like
butting up
yours,
against
though.
them.
Yeah,
if you go
you're-
right.
Yeah, but screw them. They need to go left. They need to go right as well. Everybody needs to go right.
well, but then you're doing the same thing, but just on the other side.
Yeah.
right.
No,
you're
I-
still
No,
getting
because
haste.
you-
Blah blah blah. What I'm saying
And-
is, if you start here, when you're done, you're ready to defend
right.
the minions.
You're
Yeah.
closer. Yeah.
yeah.
Like if you went,
I don't know.
If you went
I'd like
right,
to see a change.
you'd still be in the same position that you were anyway. You still have to run back to
So-
get there.
Revolution.
Yeah, I think
We
just
need
invented
to
a meta.
change.
You're all welcome.
need to change.
So, also with the changes, the arena escort map has undergone an additional artistic changes. The conquest map also has artistic changes.
Does that
which
mean that night is not really night? Like it's a little brighter now, like more stars and stuff. Have you
I
noticed?
haven't
So,
noticed.
Eric, that's actually depends on what side of the map you spawn on.
that's
Actually,
what
I
it
was
is.
thinking
That's
about that
right.
personally. I was like, "Wait, this is weird. It's so bright," but then you spawn on the other side of the map and it's dark.
And
So really, it's like how they do the skybox. It's completely dependent on what side of the map you start on.
and
Basically.
Okay.
I've
That makes
only
sense.
because I haven't played the Escort Arena in a while, but I did watch a stream and it was High Res Kelly, and I remember I wouldn't have even noticed if she hadn't said anything. She's like, "Oh, the sky looks so pretty," and I look up like, "Oh, it's almost like morning time."
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, that's a nice sunrise," and I'm like, "Oh God, you're gonna die."
Well, and I've reduced my motion on that axis, so I can't look up anymore.
Oh,
Oh, you do the restricted thing?
Yeah, I do the restricted
Oh, okay.
thing.
Do you like that better?
Yeah, except for I can't look up. So now I'm thinking about going back so I can look up at the pretty sky. I wish you could do like a, I don't know, like a
It's not as-
shift or an alt or something to unlock it.
That's kind
Some
of
way.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a middle mouse button.
or
unlocks it.
or
Yeah.
just have like a toggle key that you can set
Yeah.
where if you want it locked, you can have
Yeah.
it locked. If you don't want it locked, you can.
Just where you can do it on the fly.
It's still not
Yeah.
as loosey goosey as before, though. Remember where you could look up your skirt?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of loosey goosey, they've added new player icon.
Basically, it's
to the
even more
game.
like a social network now.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
things here. A, it's bugged all to hell. I think
Yeah.
you've seen that it's not showing up.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
sometimes
yeah.
it shows up, sometimes it doesn't.
Some-
There's no rhyme or reason of where it shows up and where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully that gets fixed. B, and I hate saying this, but they feel really out of place to me at this point. The artistic design that they chose
You
to
like the
go
donuts?
with them.
The
Yeah,
donuts?
yeah. It feels like really
It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
like
Yeah,
a-
I agree.
like a not kid game, but it just feels too too emoty. And
Yeah.
Like the one that I actually picked was the Neath one because that's my favorite god.
yeah.
And also because I looked at the other ones and just like donuts and the other stuff.
And
I'm just
music.
like,
Only the
ones
Well, the
that are, like,
lightning is
god
the coolest
faces
one to
make
me.
sense.
yeah, and that's the default one.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lightning's default, but I think it's the coolest one out of all the ones that they picked.
Yeah.
And I just got one because I
Just wanted
you know,
one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I co-host a Smite podcast. I
Right.
want to
Yeah.
support high res, so I just went ahead and got one.
Yeah.
Even though I paid, favor for it, but
Yeah.
still,
I paid favor, yeah.
And-
I
and-
got the Egyptian pyramid.
The pyramid.
Yeah.
Because
And I got
all
the
my favorite
donut.
gods are Egyptian, so and you got the donut.
Got the donut.
Which is
It was-
weird, and I
It
guess
made no
weird.
sense, but
Yeah.
it was the I don't know. Like, don't
like
get me
a
wrong.
Bacchus
I
thing?
think the icons are great in that they go well together and they look cool for if they were in a different game.
yeah.
I just feel they're out of place in this game and the kind of the design they went with the gods and stuff. And so it's like here you have this epic god pictures all over your screen. The gods are epic, the skies, the backgrounds, and then you got this donut
Yeah.
sitting here in the corner.
Kinda weird.
And it's just like it's like it should be. I don't know, and
I
so I
have
feel
a-
bad because I think they did a good. It's good art.
Yeah.
I think it's out of place. I don't think
Yeah.
it's the right style. And
Yeah.
the one thing I'm hoping is that in 6 months they'll have 1,000 of these, and
yeah.
it
and it won't matter as much,
yeah.
and we won't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just as the first pick. I think maybe they should have just done the gods.
Or
Yeah.
their flags, the
And-
deity flags, right? Like
Yeah.
in arena, or remember the
Well,
flags
but those were even
behind you,
cartoony.
and they
Those
took
were
them
even
away?
cartoony. I'm saying the design where it was just the gods, just the current gods, and so you have this set, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, "Hey, we're unleashing the fun set," and then it's all the kind of the goofy icons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it would feel like, okay, I see what you're doing. Maybe it goes with some event like I don't know, Child Care Day. And then they release the one because they have the ones for the gods that change. They have the original ones which cost more.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the classics. Yeah.
And then they could bring those out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe just I don't know. I'm nitpicking.
It seems
And we're never getting questions from Kelly again, and I'm sorry,
Oh,
but
no.
I had to say it. I mean, I don't know.
So
Am I
basically,
the only one?
Facebook is going to be buying high res soon because they're a competitor,
No!
new social network competitor. So
yeah.
But they also changed the team balancing for assault matches. And I
So
don't
yeah,
know
we
how-
talked about this last week. So
Yeah.
so they officially changed it. So the team balancing algorithm on assault matches is different now. If one side is randomly assigned a healer, the other side will be given a healer, and every other god is random. Otherwise, nothing is dependent on other teams anymore. So the currently configured gods that are considered healers are Aphrodite, Chang'e, Cupid, Guan Yu, Hel, and Ra.
and we played at least one assault under this mechanic, and
Yeah.
I actually felt bad for the opposing team because their healer was Guan Yu,
Oh, yeah.
and
But he's not bad. I mean, he's not that bad. You know,
He's better than
it's got-
Cupid.
yeah,
yeah, he still has the AoE, right? So,
Yeah.
Cupid needs to be pulled out of that list. I'm sorry. He is not a healer. He may have a heal, but to me, it's just as good as Chalk. So they might as well put Chalk in there.
Well, Chalk only is a self heal.
I don't care. It doesn't do much healing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like as good as Isis. Maybe is what you're saying.
Yeah.
She's only
yeah.
got it on her
Yeah.
ult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
and
give you
and
that.
the fact that Isis is not on the list, but Cupid is kind of
Yeah.
I think
And-
I don't know. I think it's fair because Isis is just, her heal is completely dependent on how much damage is done in the little ring.
Yeah.
So,
But at least it's
I think that
AoE.
makes a lot of sense. And then I think Hades has some kind of heal,
Huh?
which is weird. I don't know. I read it. It was on Reddit. People were like, "Oh, you're gonna add Hades to this too?" I don't know. It was weird, but I can kind of understand on Cupid. I think it also maybe it's partially to have it balanced, mages versus physical.
I
That
could-
there are 4 magical healers, and if they didn't have Cupid, it would just be Guan Yu. So maybe their part of them is like, well, we want to have this one other.
Well, okay, so
that's-
if they put him up against Guan Yu, maybe. Right? But to me, it's like Shanga, Aphrodite, Hel, and
Hel and
Ra
Ra.
are in a completely different category than
yeah,
those two.
yeah.
So I could see if they always put Cupid against Guan Yu, okay.
But that wasn't the case in the match that we played. It was Guan Yu against a Raw in regards to
Oh, yeah.
healing, and
Well, and that's another issue, right? Because Cupid's now physical. Like, the one assault I've played, the other team was pretty much all physical, and as a tank, hell yeah, I went all, physical
Yeah,
defense, and
yeah.
it was, like, easy breezy.
yeah.
No issue, and we smoked that team, like pretty easy. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I had the Gauntlet of Thebes, too, but,
OP. Well, anybody with salvation is a healer.
that's true.
yeah. but I mean, but that's a counterbalance type thing that we were
Yeah,
talking about a
it's
couple
just an
episodes
item.
ago. So
Yeah.
I think we'll just have to. I think they'll do it based on the stats. I think they'll look at assault stats over the next couple weeks and see,
Yeah.
do teams that have Cupid and Guan Yu, how well do they fare against teams with these other gods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had fun in the assault, even though it wasn't even. But I haven't had an assault where I was on the other side of the stick yet.
yeah.
So
Right.
And
exactly.
we always, if we only play where we're on the advantage column, before we do a show, we're always all for whatever that is until we start getting on the other side of the stick, and then we're like, no, I don't like that mechanic so much.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just. But we're honest about it,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
You know what else we're honest about? We're honest about. We're sad that Team Sandwich whatever isn't in the European region. But who wants to go over these stats for the?
Kevin does.
I
yeah.
do actually. I'd love to go over them. So there are a lot of changes in the competitive stuff this week. Now, unfortunately, one thing I realized is a lot of the tournaments happen on Saturday.
Yeah.
So this is actually outdated by the time you listen to it if you're not listening live. Sorry. But still interesting to talk about. So Cognitive Gaming, Team Dignitas, Snipe, Denial, and Clash and Slash are still all in their same spots. There was no change. Cognitive Gaming is actually, I didn't know this because I just kind of looked at the points. They're undefeated right now. They've not lost a single game in the entire tournament.
Wow.
So far. So they are like doing really, really well.
The European region is an entirely different
Yes,
story.
so the European region is nuts. There are literally switching every single week. So right now, 1 and 2 are Solomid and Cloud9 HyperX, respectively. They are 5 points apart. So they're really close.
crazy.
Again, they're switching like every week. Last week, it was different. And now, so Team Q and Torch were both picked up by different groups. So Team Q is now SK Gaming, and Torch is now Team Coast Blue. And SK Gaming, which is what Team Q was, is 270, and Torch is now Team Coast Blue is at 260. So they are separated by 10 again. And they're flip-flopping every week as well. And then our 5th place guy is Line. I don't know what their team. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I think we figured this out. Though.
It's Korean, right?
Yep, it's
Korean.
Korean
characters.
Korean characters, and the font that they use does not use that, so it defaults to a pipe. Now that's what we think.
That's what we think.
The other thing about
but they stayed in 5th place, so that's good.
Yeah.
The tournament is, if I read correctly, I believe Kelly said that this coming weekend, and I'll have to confirm this because I thought it went further into March, but I think I saw Kelly tweet that this is the last weekend for the tournaments to qualify.
So if this is the last weekend. I mean, we Europeans locked up. I mean, they're not going to lose 200 points.
Well, the U.S. is locked up. The Europeans is very much up in the air.
Well, they're taking 4 from each, right? Is it 4 from each group?
It's 4 from each, but what I'm saying is the order is.
But the order doesn't matter, right? Once they get to here, it's
no, it matters. Remember, because it's like March Madness, so your seed when you join the tournament is relative to how difficult the team you're going to be playing first.
Like
is,
the lowest team in one region is going to play the highest team in the other region. So
correct.
You want to be higher up so that you have a better chance of beating your first competitor.
That's people that suck at playing games. If you want to win, you don't care who you're playing. You just want to get to the tournament, and that's what I'm talking about. There's 8 teams going, and we pretty much know the European teams that are going. I mean,
it's going to be those 4. It's just what order they're going to be.
Now, I could see Denali Esports and Clash. I mean, they're only not even 60 points away. I don't know how many points you can.
I think Clash would have to win every match.
And Denali would have to lose every match.
Yeah, basically.
And that still may not even be as much. I mean, 60 points actually seems a lot when you look at this list.
Yeah.
So we may have the teams locked up that'll be there. Maybe Clash has a chance. Sorry, Sandwich. I'll eat a sandwich in your memory.
Yeah.
But I'm not bringing them to the con now.
But I guess we'll have the finalized tournament roster come next show.
And you'll know when this comes out if you looked it up, but we don't.
Yeah.
We're living in the past.
But if you want more information about Smite Esports, you can go to esports.smitegame.com.
Or you can come to my house and I'll just tell you about it. So
he can show you his lizard.
Yeah.
One-eyed lizard.
Oh my gosh. So we're moving on now to our newest segment, QFK. I don't know what letters are. QFK, also known as Questions for Kelly.
Yes.
And
so questions for Kelly, who works at High Res. So
she's the community manager.
Yeah, and if you want to submit some in for us to send, just submit them to smite@deadworkers.com, and we'll compile a list and give them to her. And she goes around the office asking people if she doesn't know the answers. So this is really cool. I mean, I can't really tell you how awesome we think this is. And Kelly, we love you, and we owe you some beers.
I would like to say, I would like to ask people, though, because what Kelly has done for us is so nice. If you do have community-related questions, which she told us that are the ones that she can answer herself, if you could, I'm not saying don't send in developer-related questions, but if you can lean more towards the community-related questions, just because I want to because what she's done for us is already so awesome. I want to make the job as easy for her as possible.
Make her job easier.
So community-related questions, if you have those, are a preference. We want those, especially because we want ones that Kelly can answer herself. So, but again, if you have the developer-related questions, don't hesitate. Just try to keep them specific. Try to not load your questions if you can. We want to keep it open-ended, stuff like that. And also you can send in stupid questions, but if you send in stupid questions, don't be like, Don't send in creepy questions. Definitely won't send those in. Don't be like, "What color's your underwear?" Like, that's
are we still talking about? Let's get to these questions. First one here.
Anyway.
Eric, tell us about this first
All
question.
right, so how do you feel about the supposed toxicity of the Smite community? And her answer is, what it really comes down to what it really comes down to is most, if not all, competitive games where you work as a team will have BM and toxicity. Majority of our player base is adolescent boys, and one of the ways they vent their frustrations is through video games. Players would yell obscenities to you through a game that they would never dare say face-to-face. It's the unfortunate downside to being anonymous on the internet. If I'm not mistaken, DM Brandon once said, "Do not mistake community with player base. They are toxic players of Smite, but they do not reflect our entire community. I've seen the most amazing, helpful people come out of the Smite community. It's a shame the entire player base cannot be the same."
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
And I mean, as the game gets bigger, I think we're just going to see more of that kind of divide, and hopefully us as community members and proffering a less toxic game playground, I guess, for people to play in, that we can help the new people foster that same attitude and just, when you see it, just tell people, hey, no one wants that here. It's just
Go
you
back
don't need
to
to
law.
do it.
Yeah, and it is, like she said, like the anonymity, you know what I'm saying?
The
trying to say.
facelessness.
Yeah,
Yes.
Being anonymous on the internet is so easy to just, say crap to people, like hateful things that you would never say face to face. But but also I kind of feel like there's a hive mind too attitude. Like, if a lot of people say that movie sucks, then more and more people will say that movie sucks, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, that movie sucks. When in reality, it might be a good movie, and had everybody said that movie was awesome, that hive mind would have been like, yeah, that movie's awesome. And then a double reality, that movie might have sucked, and everybody said it was great, right? It's just a hive mind, and the truth is not really the truth. It's just what we all agree on, right? So,
but if more of us have the hive mind of not BMing, then hopefully that's the hive mind.
Yeah.
right, exactly. And maybe that'll stick, and everybody will be like, yeah, let's play Smite. Nobody's rude on there because that's, I don't know. So, but it's the freaking internet.
Because gods do not need to be rude. They just kill people. Wait.
Like Cthulhu, maybe?
Zeus begs
Yes,
everyone,
Speaking of
that's
Cthulhu, Afro.
Cthulhu gods, are they fair game, or would you have to license them to add them to the game? Are they even being considered? And the answer was, although we appreciate H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu doesn't match the mythology setting the rest of the pantheons have. It'd be a little out of place.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little...
Makes sense because Cthulhu was never worshipped. So
Yeah, I mean...
Except for Caleb.
Only freaks worship Cthulhu.
Freaks.
I mean, Cthulhu was invented in like the 1920s, so
Yeah.
he was never really worshipped like the rest of these gods were. So I can understand.
They want to go legit.
Do you think we'll ever
Like-
see like a Cthulhu skin?
Maybe.
could happen.
On a
Maybe
god
for,
that
like,
is rehab?
Maybe.
Poseidon
yeah.
could totally have that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it'd just be like Cthulhu instead of the Kraken.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
Okay, so this next one here. What is the policy for leavers? Is it being enforced? Is reporting the way to handle it? Current thread on Reddit talks about a person playing the game 2 months that has over 150 leaves. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
And
2 leaves a
isn't
day.
banned. Are people being banned for leaving? So the answer is the way our support system works is that within a given period of time, say a week, if a certain player has a large number of reports, 20 to 30, and these are just, I guess,
Approximate.
yeah. We look into their account, check how many times they have left a match, and suspend their account accordingly. It should be noted that reporting players does work, and it helps us weed out the players who are making the experience worse for everyone else. We do not permaban players for leaving. They follow our suspension policy: 3-day ban for first offense, 1 week ban for second, 10 days for third, and so on. And I think the next one is like a year or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets
That's
pretty
good.
big at the end. So
that is good.
so
it
report.
is helping. Yeah.
Yeah.
they definitely do report people.
And also, like, even though sometimes you feel bad because you're fairly certain that someone, like if you're certain that someone has disconnected or has left a game because they're actually having connection problems and they've tried to get back in, then don't report them. But if you think, just randomly think and they haven't tried to get back in, reporting them once for leaving because they're having a connection problem isn't going to get them insta-banned.
Yeah, so report them every
if they're
time.
a chronic person, then it will.
Because here's the thing I say. If they have crappy internets and they drop all the time because of it, sorry, ban them.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No.
I mean, they're going to get the same... even though it's not intentionally being a jerk, they're still intentionally playing a game knowing that they'll probably get kicked off because of crappy internets.
Yeah.
And they need to fix the internets.
And that's one of the things is like, if it's an occasional thing, you reporting them once is not going to hurt them.
Right.
But if it's a constant thing and them leaving the game, whether it's on purpose or not, is hurting their team. So if it's occurring enough to where it reaches the point where they review the account and even consider suspending the account, then I mean, there's...
I'll tell you what I've started doing is like when people start BMing people, I friend them on my friend list, and then I make sure we play like 5 or 6 games in a row, and I report them every time without them knowing it, just so I can stay in that queue, right? And give them like a good 10 reports, and like whisper to the other people, "Hey, report this guy, man. He called you."
That's how one of those BMers got in our clan, though. It's because you friended him, and somehow he asked you.
But I think we got him banned because I played with him every day, banning him. Reporting. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really do that. Just an idea for people who take things way too seriously.
Yeah.
All right. So,
by the way, this next question is a question I put in there, and I think this is the best question. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, will we ever see Jesus in the game? Hey, I've been asking that since day one. And Kelly replied with, "We've mentioned that we would never release an Abrahamic god, any Abrahamic god, due to the potential backlash. Also, Smite revolves around mythology outside of Hinduism. None of the pantheons we have are actively practiced." Now, I thought that there was some gods that were actually actively practiced in the some of the Hindu gods.
That's exactly what they said.
She just said.
Outside of Hinduism.
Oh, yeah, I just read it, right?
Yeah.
No, okay,
I think
so
they
only
just
the Hindu.
basically-
I think...
Is there nobody else? No,
I
probably not.
think
Okay.
the only ones that are actively practiced are in the Hindu. And
There's some like small groups of people that worship the Norse god still.
Yeah,
but
but
they're kooks, and we don't talk about them.
But with the Hindu gods, there's an entire, or not an entire, but a majority of a country
Okay.
that still worship them.
I didn't know it was an
they might
Abrahamic
have
god.
screwed.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she's pulling out
what
big words on
It's
us.
a
Yes.
fancy word for.
No,
like,
they know their gods over there. You
for
know?
Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. That's the fancy word for
Yes,
their.
because they
their
all
Okay.
had sons of Abraham.
I'm sure
yes.
they do a lot of god research at high res. I mean, obviously.
Well,
they're in the
now
business
they
of gods.
probably do after they got in trouble with Hindu gods. But maybe when they started, they didn't really think.
Right.
I mean, the Hindu are still extremely upset about Kali,
Smite?
and they still want to remove from the game.
But they have a small gaming community.
Yeah,
so it's,
yeah.
So we win? Well, that's
Oh
interesting.
yeah, majority hegemony.
Majority. Yeah.
All right, Kevin, this is yours.
All right. So this is the last question. This is a big one. This is a doozy. It's
This
got
is a
a
doozy.
really long answer. So, sit back in your chair. Pop open a beer.
I got some popcorn.
Here's the question:
Well, hurry up,
Is there
'cause I
any
gotta pee.
consideration for an ultimate voice pack being offered? And the answer, here we go: no. Sorry.
Sorry.
No.
No.
Which is I think this is a good answer. Actually, there are a lot of people on Reddit, and even us. I think we talked about this too.
We've
Yeah,
wanted
Saying,
one.
that's definitely something we'd pay for, that we'd buy, but
Never an ultimate voice pack. Not
well,
even.
she didn't say never. It's just not being considered right now. So
Yeah,
which I'm
and-
clinging to it, but that means not for a very long time, if ever.
Well,
And
she
I-
didn't expand upon the answer either. So I guess it's just as of now, no.
Well,
Yeah, they're not
I can
considering it.
Yeah,
Right?
Right.
But
and that's a literal answer to the question. But I can definitely see where they wouldn't want to do that simply because now that with the Ultimate God Pack, and so many people probably have that, the only revenue stream really is the voice packs and the special God skins that you can't get with the Ultimate God Pack, because you can't really get people to get gems to buy gods if they have the God Pack. So it's skins and voice packs, and you really don't want to bundle everything that you offer, and icons.
Yeah.
But you don't want to bundle everything that you offer.
Well, and the one thing,
limit your ability to monetize.
And I get that, and I don't know the stats. I mean, maybe they have the stats, and that's it may prove this, but like, to me, like, I buy the voice packs of the gods I play a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, honestly, that comes down to like 5 voice packs or something.
Yeah.
Like, so
But you're saying if there was an ultimate voice pack, you would buy that.
I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then
if it's the
and
same,
actually
and
spending
they would
more
make
money
more
than you would
money
anyway.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my thought, is I think they would make more money in the long run by doing a voice pack. I could even see like doing almost a yearly voice pack that says, hey, you get all the voices, for this year.
Yeah.
And the next year, if you want the new voices. The other thing is, I think they should make a big change, and I assume it's not this way, but I think that if you buy a voice, that if someone else plays in your group with that voice, you hear that voice.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether they have it or not. They still hear the generic. Everybody else still hears it generic. But if I pay for a voice,
I should hear that voice.
it gives me more incentive to buy all the voices, because maybe I just want all the voices so
To be
I know
distinct.
the lanes are distinct. Right?
Yeah.
But like right now, the only reason is so when I'm playing it. So that's why I only buy the ones that
you play.
that I play. Right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And we have some more questions for Kelly next episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
already answered.
Yep.
But for some reason, they only wanted to do 5. And some
Well,
of the
that's
best,
to keep us
it.
from going to 2 hours.
y'all missed some of the best too. The Easter egg one. These are just some. This is what we like to call
In the
A
business.
tease?
teaser. A teaser.
Yeah.
Do you want to find out if there's going to be Smite plushies? Huh?
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? What about Easter eggs in the game?
Yeah.
What
And the
about,
answer is not no. She actually told us an Easter egg.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good.
Yeah, it is a good one. We need to. Well, we won't give it away by going and looking tonight, but but anyway, a bunch of other questions, and like we said, send in your questions because we want to be able to. We're breaking them up because we don't want to be the ones to give 10 questions every week.
Yeah.
But if you send in enough that we can give 10 every week, we will see how many she will answer. And thank you again, Kelly. Thank you, everyone else. It's been a great show. It's been epic. It's been what?
I wanted to remind. I had 2 quick oh my gods, 2 quick sightings. So there was episode 4 of Minion Has Spawned, which was really funny. It was about how Todd is trying to monetize the stream, the Smite game stream, and Erez would be posting on Reddit, telling him that, or saying that no one will monetize on the Smite game stream, but they don't actually know who Erez is. He's like this mythical being that they're talking about, and they're like, Erez, like he's like like frightening, and it was pretty funny. And there was also, so you know those Facebook look back videos?
Yeah.
They did one for Sun Wukong.
Yeah, I saw
Nice.
And it is so funny. It is perfect.
So,
You can find it on the
so everybody search for those on the interwebs. We're not going to
it's
link
on
them
the-
anywhere.
it's on,
Sorry,
It's on the-
Afro's about to explode. So
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's on the Hyrule Studios channel. You can look it up. It's really funny.
there you go.
All right, you can call us at 662-736-8260 or
Email us at smite@deadworkers.com.
Yeah. And we love you all. And what else do you do every single week?
Everybody, smite on!